What's up, everybody? It's Zex here, along with
Tyrant.
and we're here to talk about Final Fantasy Dissidia NT. Now, we've uploaded 3 videos to our channel already, and it's gotten some good views, no feedback,
Decent views.
some good views in the 50s for week 2. And instead of uploading gameplay, I actually want to talk about Dissidia NT as a whole, pros, cons, in case people are still in the stages of deciding whether or not they want to play Dissidia, or just what we think about Dissidia, or at least what I think about Dissidia.
Agreed. And, it's just basically explaining from our point of view
So
what we think.
what I will say is, before we get into this, is just we have a great understanding of the game. We played the game long enough to give our own opinions or reviews, as you people would call it. So this isn't going to be one of those long, extravagant videos. This is not a podcast or anything like that. This is just fans of the game talking about the game. And I'm going to get straight into it and be like, okay, these are the things that I really like about Dissidia. Dissidia NT is a really good 3v3 fighting game. I won't say that it's a unique 3v3 fighting game because I have played Gundam Versus. But it is a very good 3v3 fighting game, and the graphics, like, geez, those graphics. It's like the creators put lingerie on a game because those graphics are seductive. The game looks outstanding. Completely outstanding.
Even when you get the water effects from Leviathan and the new map Orban Monastery, when it starts raining, the water effects that it reflects on the character and whatnot, it's pretty cool.
These graphics are incredible. If you're looking for a pretty game, this game, it's Square Enix. So you don't really need to say much in terms of that. But Final Fantasy Dissidia's graphics, they did a great job in how it looks. Now, the next thing I'm going to get into is its actual gameplay. The game is very friendly. It's very easy to get into. There's nothing technical about the game. You're not going to do quarter circles, half circles, and Z motions to do the dragon punches and whatnot. There's none of that. It's forward X, back X, and neutral X. And for those of you wondering, I switched my controls for X to be my brave attacks, not circle. So circle is my jump button. But anyways, I'm not talking about my controller scheme. I like how friendly the game is because literally, if you sit down for about 2 hours to play the game, you'd understand the game, or at least the character you're playing, wholeheartedly. And that is very important for a game like this coming out the way it's coming out, because this is Final Fantasy's third approach at this type of at a fighter, but it's their first approach doing it team-based. So I really think that they did a good job on keeping things simple but still competitive. And what I really like the most is that even though there's a simplicity in the move list and a simplicity with the characters, and forward X does this, back X does that, neutral X does that, I'm ready to go, there comes an edge with the player. So even though Squall's back X does the Thunder Barret that pulls you in and whatnot, there comes a point where understanding matters more than the moves that you are performing. There are certain moves that you can do, certain moves you shouldn't be doing, certain ways to open up an opponent, even though you don't have much of a move list, you don't have many variety. The way the player thinks, the way the player comprehends her situation is what really separates the pro players from the casual players per se.
I think within that regard of I would say creating a guard string, opening him up. I don't know if that's the correct term to use here, but you have characters with their own little nuances and special abilities. Like I'm a Cloud main, if you haven't seen any of my videos yet, and Cloud is able to charge 99% of his attacks, Andre, I believe, except for 1 or 2, his Omni Slash and his dash attack. I think are the only things he can't charge in the game.
Yeah.
But he has a charge ability which can throw off people from blocking and sidestepping, and then you can punish their sidestep and whatnot. But a bunch of characters have a bunch of things that you can do to open your opponent up. But the key thing, which a lot of people seem to forget, that Zex hit the nail on the head. It's a 3-on-3 game.
We'll get into that soon.
But yeah, you pretty much said everything right about this game. It's beautiful. The characters look really cool. Just the gameplay is thorough. It's smooth. It runs pretty well. But the one thing that I take from the game that you didn't mention is the character roster.
I was about to get into that variety.
I love the character roster and who they picked.
I love the variety. And for all of you screaming out for Kingdom Hearts, I really hope they don't do that. I do not like Kingdom Hearts, but that's not why I'm saying I hope they don't do it. I don't want Kingdom Hearts in there because there are so much original Final Fantasy characters that deserve a spot before you start throwing in guest characters.
Well, he's never even been in the first two. So I just feel like that'd be very counterproductive to put him in there. And he's not a Final Fantasy character, so there's no reason for him to be there. He's a Square Enix character, yes, but he's not
Sora
Final
and
Fantasy.
Riku or any of them
I don't think they
belong.
have a spot over Barrett or Sid
Or Zell
or Zell, Cypher, whatever he's called these days.
Delita or Del whatever you guys. I call him Delita from Final Fantasy Tactics.
But there's so many other characters that I feel should always have a spot,
No matter what.
before those kind of characters come in.
Because it seems like the format they're going with is main protagonist, main antagonist,
villain, yeah.
and then the character you kind of don't get to play.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
the anti-hero.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, for example, I can see them going Squall, Ultimecia, and then Cypher. But from what I'm aware, Laguna was in the previous one, and I would love to see Laguna over Cypher. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Cypher, but we have two Gunblades already. We have one Gunblade already, and as I debate with you already, and we'll get into this a little later, there is a way to put Cypher in the game still, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later in this video. But right now, let's just talk about the variety in the character roster. Because even though there's a lot of characters in the game, and Vayne was just announced for Final Fantasy 12, I've never played Final Fantasy 12, so I know a lot of people want Gabranth or Gabranth or whatever you want to call him. I call him Gabranth. I know a lot of people wanted Gabranth, but we got Vayne, and to me, personally, I do boxing. When I see a character that uses his fists, I'm just like, yo, that's my main.
As soon as I saw him, I was just like, Zach is going to be super stoked. Like, this was the character of characters for him, honestly. If there's anything outside of Squall, Vayne filled that role.
So there's that, and with
And
variety,
he's a Vanguard.
yeah, and he's a Vanguard, and that's what I was about to get into as well. Classes, with variety comes classes. You have your assassins, you have your vanguards, you have your
specialists,
and your marksmen or shooters,
yeah.
right? Or what I like to call them mages. I don't know why they're not called mages, but okay. You have your mages, aka your shooters or your marksmen, right? Now this is where team synergy comes into play. I say that again. Team synergy.
A lot of people forget it.
It's a 3v3 game. I'm going to get to that in a moment. Team synergy really matters in this game. And, communication in the game matters as well. Like, when I'm not playing with my boys, I usually use a character dialogue because he kind of summarizes what I want to do anyways. Like, this calls for a summon.
You know what? But that's what a lot of... I'm sorry to interrupt you. I find 90% of the time people overlook the in-game chat function. And it helps a lot. When you watch, like, the Japanese community play...
They're always talking.
They're always using it. Whether it's to summon, whether they screwed up and they just want to say sorry. I mean, it's just communicating, letting everybody know, because you'll have guys get isolated on purpose. And sometimes, your team's not paying attention to what's happening around them. And then you get caught getting killed twice because you didn't verbalize that you needed help.
Yep. So, with the variety of the game, synergy... you have your assassins classes. I play an assassin Squall. And your assassins, they're meant to be like in and out people. They're really quick. They have a lot of combo potential. They set up a lot of things for their marksmen and their vanguards, etc., etc. But the assassins are basically your DPS for all you RPG guys. They get in there. They do a lot of combos and whatnot. And they're just very quick. They're from one person to another person. When I play Squall, once I do a knockback on you, I'm looking for another target right away. You're breaking the other team's formation and harassing them. But at the same time, when you're doing that, you have to depend on your Vanguard.
And
your Vanguard is very important.
The Vanguard. Let me tell you, a lot of people seem to fail to understand Vanguards are not assassins. They are not meant to do massive amount of damage in a short period of time. They are meant to defend the marksman or help out the assassin, because our job is protecting everybody, working with the team, assisting wherever we can get the assist. And I know that, for instance, like with Cloud, he's kind of more solo built. He's
Cloud
not
is very versatile in that game.
he's not the biggest fan of teamwork, but if you play him right, he is. He helps out so much. He has decent projectiles. He has decent combo setups, and he can disrupt formations by throwing people and isolating them away, allowing your assassin to then double team with you to get rid of said enemy. And then you have guys like Garland and Warrior of Light, and all the Vanguards do something special, which is what I really like. They're not all like, cut and paste dry. Like, they always do one thing always.
Yeah, like, and the most important part with the Vanguards is
We have a lot of health.
Squall and Assassins do a lot of combos. Like, the Vanguards, they do some heavy, like, if they hit you, you're gonna know about it.
Yeah, for sure.
They're slow attacks, but those
you
slow
can
attacks
easily
are for
punish
those
them.
damages and whatnot. So Vanguards, they get in there and they kind of just clear the area. Like, if someone gets close, a Vanguard will knock them away to give their marksman and their assassin some more breathing space. Right? Unless you're talking about, like, Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light is he's probably the only tank in the game. Warrior of Light is very, in my opinion, he should have been a unique class or a specialist class, in my opinion.
I don't think so. I think he belongs where he is. If anyone should be out of the Vanguard class, in my opinion, that should switch, that's Furion, the god of the
Oh,
ground.
Furion, the ground god. Can't touch that guy on the ground. There are people who won't even lock out. As soon as they see that blue line turn red, they're using that 360 neutral attack. It works. But then comes your marksman.
He's
Now,
Earth.
now
He's rubbing his face.
I've played a lot of games, and I lose more than I win in solo. But with party matches, we have like a 60-something win ratio right now, and we're working on
we're working on
getting it to the 70s.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But when I play solo, I have like a 47% win ratio, and I'm not gonna toot my own horn or anything like that. Sometimes I am responsible for my failures, but most of the time, like I'll say 85% of the time, is because people aren't doing their jobs. And the marksmen are probably the most important people on a team. They hang back. You are a marksman. Do you see a sniper trying to go toe to toe with a machine gun unless he's got some Halo 3 come at me no scope talent? Like, I have seen aces, I have seen Terras, I have seen Ultimicias charge the front line, and I am Squall. You should be hanging behind me. Relax, watch my back, cover me. That is the sole job. Treat yourself like you're a healer. That's the best way I can explain how to use a marksman.
Nobody messes with the healer.
Treat yourself like a healer. Hang back, observe the battlefield, and when you see something going down, lay in your support, and then just rinse and repeat. That's the job of a marksman. So, back to discussing what I like about the game is its versatility. Of course, there's a specialist class who they kind of don't fit into a category. They're a category on their own, and it depends on the character you pick. Like Van, for example, you just don't need the brave button.
The Square King.
This guy is HP attack all the way. If you do anything else with HP attack, you're probably not doing him correctly.
He's the hungriest character of them all.
But other than that, what I like about Dissidia is its versatility. The characters, the classes within the characters, it's just performed really well that you can kind of mobile your way through it a little bit, but at the same time it goes down to like player understanding, and that's another thing that I want to talk about that's a pro. The mentality of a player really matters in this game. When you're playing this game and you're completely new and you know everything about the character, but then you play someone that's like experienced with the same character you're playing, chances are he or she is going to be doing things that you never thought possible with your character, approaching you in a different way. So the player mentality is really important and whatnot. So I really appreciate how they made it simple, but at the same time made it about you, the player, how you're going to go about certain situations. How is Squall going to approach a Vanguard? How is Squall going to approach an Assassin? And how is Squall going to approach a Marksman? So there's a lot of depth to you as a player as well. You're involved. It's not mindless action or anything like that. You are heavily involved in this game.
You know what, though? I want to go right into cons right now because
We're about to.
I have the biggest issue with two things about this game. connection, netcode. Jesus mercy. I don't understand. Square Enix, you're a AAA title.
You got the money.
You've seen fighting games before. You know what netcode they use, what type of architect of network they're using. Why did you decide to go with what you're using?
Like, peer-to-peer connection works for fighting games because it's literally just you and one more person.
But
this is 6 people.
And then it's like with fighting games, they have some of them use the rollback, some of them use other different types of like the GGPO type of architect of online fighting games.
Yep.
And it's just like, how did you mess that up? Honestly, how did you screw that up? I just find that just ridiculous. And it's like, I understand they've been working very, very hard to fixing it, because I mean, they jumped from 0.0 or 1.0 to 1.5 in like 2 weeks since its release.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like, they were hustling to try and fix it, but it's still like, it was still very unacceptable. I haven't gotten my hands on the patch we got a few days ago, but
I would honestly just reference Gundam Versus. Like, everyone's saying that the City is a one-of-a-kind game. It's not a one-of-a-kind game.
I think Gundam Versus has been doing it
Gundam
for
Versus
way too long.
is a more technical Dissidia. Like, Gundam Versus is
That's
highly technical.
There's no pick up and play with that. You have to know what you're doing.
It's not friendly at all.
No, it's very, very hard.
But they use the same 2v2, 3v3 format. In this latest one, it's 3v3.
yeah,
But they have that format, and the connections, from what I understand, are pretty stable. and
we were in the
whatnot.
beta and we didn't have any problem.
Yeah. So it's really you just need to do some more research, and it's Square Enix. Of course, they're gonna fix it eventually, but in the meantime, it's just the connection is a problem. And there's one thing that I really hate the most, because every hit matters in this game.
Oh
and there's
my-
this thing that I call
I'm a cloud player. You're telling me?
there's this thing that I call the phantom hit, and it's basically when you hit this character, you get the brave, and he loses the brave,
but
but he doesn't go into hit stun.
He just walks it off.
He can fly away. He can immediately counter you. You can phantom hit him, and then he'll HP attack you. It's basically the hit is confirmed, but for whatever reason, there's a loss in translation with the registration.
Reminds me of Halo.
So it's really bad, and it's very frustrating when you finally get in on that character that you had a problem getting in on, like Squall versus Yoshitola, and you finally get in there, and that you just want to hit that combo because you can seal the deal or break the team synergy, only to find out, yeah, you hit her, but at the same time, she's not going to flinch. She has no hit stun because it's a phantom hit. They really, really need to work on that. They really need to. That's very important, especially for a game where every hit matters. Because
We've had a few games where it's been clutch. Like, we needed to really pull one out of our rear end, and because we get phantom hit at the end and the guy counters us immediately, we've lost.
I can't tell you how frustrating it is. I remember I dropped one game because I hit him, and then he went straight into Faded. It was a Squall versus Squall. I did Squall's his back air brave, so his back X for mostly back circle, but I'm going to be using X for my brave. So back X, and that thing it has like a weird heat seek, connected, and then I did the follow-up, the neutral X, so where he does the uppercut kind of a thing, made a connection, but at the same time, he didn't get hit stun, and he went straight into Faded Circle and killed me. And that's what won him the game, where that should not have happened. Because this guy had 4,000 Brave. With that combo, I was going to drop him down to a good 3,000, 2,000. That means my team is safe. His HP attack won't be an instant kill. But because of the phantom hit, that wasn't the case. And I got killed, and we dropped the game. So they really need to work on that. And another one of my cons is for this, the third con that we'll name because it's connection issues and the phantom hit. But I guess that could fall under connection issues.
Yeah, it is. It technically is.
So the second con of this whole thing is the community. Now, community.
I don't know how you're gonna go in on the community right
Let
now.
me talk to you guys for a second. You guys aren't toxic people or anything like that. I've never encountered. I get hate messages. I get a lot of hate messages. A lot.
I haven't gotten one. Everyone says nice things to me.
But at the same time, that's not what I'm complaining about.
You're not a likable person.
What I'm complaining about is the people who are saying, this game, I want 1v1.
It's
it's not duodecium. It's not like duodecium. You're right. It's not like Duodecium.
It's not Duodecium at all.
You're absolutely right. This
it's not even
game
the first one.
wasn't supposed to be a continuation of the Duodecium days. This game is a team game. It is designed for everybody to work together. I've gotten hate messages where someone sent me a message. He's playing a Sephiroth, and he was trying to lead me somewhere so we can have a one-on-one duel among a team game.
That's when you just give him the turnaround.
So he's flying away. That's fine. I'll turn around and I'll HP attack. I'm an assassin. That's what I do. Turn around. I find someone out of position. I just hit him. I'll ignore the Sephiroth. Sephiroth sends me a message saying, "Oh, I guess you knew better than to face me 1v1." As I do. Why don't you just go into a custom lobby and host your own 1v1 then? This game is 3-on-3. I have encountered situations where I have not died once, but I have lost the game because my teammates have died 3 times. You need to understand, you share lives in this game. So even if you don't die, you can still lose. So it's very important to be coordinated with your teammates. It's very important for you guys, the community who's like, Duodecium, 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 Duodecium. You people are people who don't know how to adapt. You remind me of, and I'm going to get flamed for this.
Let's not do that. Let's not go there. Please, just let's not go there.
Well, you know where I'm going. You remind me of a certain community who depends on a glitch to make their game the way it is. Won't get into it because I guess
let's just not do
whatever.
Let's
but
not do it.
Evolve, adapt. Your game is evolving and adapting. If you love your game, you will evolve and adapt with it. Unless you're Halo Reach, then you just don't go there.
A lot of people like that game, actually.
No,
I didn't like it, but a lot of people like that game.
No.
I thought it was a little too inconsistent.
But other than that, like, Dissidia is a great game. It's a phenomenal game.
Agreed.
It's a game that encourages everyone to work together. It encourages teamwork. It encourages synergy, play styles, and everything like that.
You know, before you close this out, my other issue would have to be with actually the developers, Square Enix, because I feel they didn't make the effort to convey anything in this game. They just kind of like gave you the game and said, "Go swim." You know what I mean? And they didn't even give you a floaty or anything.
Well, that's what the tutorial's for, right?
But the tutorial doesn't even exactly give you down to the nitty-gritty of even like character specifics and what they can and cannot do. It gives you a general idea of what you can do just universally across the board. But I mean, like a move list,
like how Guilty Gear or Dragon, but they have like specific character combo missions and stuff like that.
Just
like, they have,
ease people into understanding.
They have the game
character.
Tutorial, and then they have the character tutorial.
You know what I mean? And these things are important. Even like, I mean, now they have a move list, but from the intel I've been getting, the move list is inaccurate. They're using it from the arcade cabinets. And like
some of the moves don't even explain what the move
actually does, and it's not even accurate to the information that you should be reading, because certain things don't even operate that way anymore. And it's like, I don't know if you want to call that lazy or just downright you just thought it wasn't that serious.
Yeah,
I just feel like that was a drop ball on their part.
So let's get into it real quick, Tyrant, before we wrap this whole thing up. The pros. Game looks beautiful. Graphics are amazing.
100%.
The game encourages teamwork.
Yep, love it.
It's a great team game.
Yep.
The game has ways to build your characters. Even if you're playing the same character, you have different builds with the EX skills.
I still hate it, but yep.
The poison, the Ren shield, the mighty strikes. You have buffs and debuffs.
Listen, I played a game with all 6 people being Cloud. It's not fun.
That encourages versatility, and you can always play your character differently depending on the EX skills. So I like that. The game really encourages you to think on your feet and how to adapt to every situation.
Yep.
The game is very simple to get into. It's very friendly for people to play.
Yep.
There is an objective within every fight to break a crystal and to summon your boss, to summon a summon that will turn the tides of battle.
Nice.
Summons are very important, and they definitely make the game.
They turn the tide for sure.
Yeah, they really turn the tides. So those are the pros there. The cons is the connection issues.
Jesus, just
that
fix it.
phantom hit and how long it takes to get from one game to another. Like, I would accept if you just made the game like every online match a best out of first to 3 or whatever.
Something like
just
that.
because it's very hard to find another game.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It just takes too much time.
And
to
then
find
and
a
then
game.
once you find the game, sometimes one of your members disconnects.
And
That's the worst.
that's why there's no quitter penalty either. So there needs to definitely be. Well, no, wait, there is a
I
quitter
think they
penalty.
added
There
it
is a quitter
recently.
penalty.
Yeah, they added
If you
it recently.
disconnect or something, you will lose points.
Yeah, they added it recently.
There is a quitter penalty. It's always been in the game, actually. My bad. I stand corrected.
You're right. Yeah, it always has been there.
That's one of my cons with the game: the connection and the community thinking like this game is a one-on-one game when it really isn't. So stop it. Like 2v2 at least.
Yep.
This game is not meant for one-on-one.
Yep.
Not meant at all. If you bring Squall to Cecil, like there are certain characters that you just cannot touch. No matter what you do, no matter what you try to do, there's this. You're hopeless. You're helpless.
It's funny because the game forces you to be like, you can't win this.
Yeah.
Stop it.
You're
Get
helpless.
Get a friend. And people still stubbornly will charge.
You're just helpless. So there's that. And my next biggest con is there's no social playlist. There is no like.
Yeah, everything.
I don't want to
ranked,
play
yeah.
for rank. I just want to play for
But
fun.
I mean,
The reason why I say that is because for whatever insane reason, there are computers or AIs in ranked matches that can dictate your rank.
Yeah.
There have been games where it's like me and 2 AIs versus a full team of 3. And I understand if you lose like horribly, you won't lose any XP, but it will go on your win-loss ratio record.
Yeah.
It will go there.
I'm going to defend them here because you know what, they did give us customs. The custom
Yes,
match
but
feature,
like it's
which
it's
not a
hard
lot of people
to find
pick.
those customs.
Yeah, not a lot of people play it. And I don't know if that's on. Well, that's more or less like just the community. You know what I mean? When you put a custom matchmaking type of playlist, it normally
AIs don't belong
it can
in ranked
populate.
matches.
It can help with people on the more casual side to play that way.
Yeah.
But I agree. Finding an actual social playlist where it's just like nothing's on the line, everybody's just learning a character or doing what they need to do, like that makes sense.
Yeah, AIs do not belong in ranked playlists.
AI should never dictate.
They do not belong in ranked playlists at all.
I'd rather sit there
And
for another 15 minutes than have
I really don't like the fact that I can't customize my preferences going into a rank. Like I don't want to match up with people that are below 3 dots.
Agree, yeah.
Like I should be allowed to specify who I want to match up with in terms of connection, in terms of what I'm looking for, et cetera, et cetera.
Because some people are willing to sit there and wait as long as they get their perfect connection, man.
I'm willing to wait.
I am. I play Dragon Ball FighterZ. My internet's not the greatest, and honestly, like more times than not, I sit and I wait. I will not play you if you don't even at least have green to 5 full bars. Like I won't do it.
And another thing ranked needs to do, this is just a personal thing now that I'm going into, but they should match you up with the players and then you pick your characters. Not pick your characters and then match you up with the players. And they should not allow same characters on one team.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
If I play a Squall, don't match me up with somebody else that's playing Squall.
Yeah, but I guess because their community's not that big online, especially when you do the team matches, like it's hard.
Yeah.
To,
And and honestly, if you want, like there are times where I understand, like they should make a playlist for 2v2s as well.
I agree. Yeah,
It'll really speed up the process. And sometimes I don't have like
I
sometimes
the game would be a lot better 2v2, but
yeah, I agree too. But sometimes it's just me and Tyrion or me and Tyrant that are just playing together, and we have to suffice for like some third who just refuses to follow orders or whatever the case may be. So just there should be a 2v2 playlist as well. It's still a team-based game, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's my thing about Dissidia. In general, I give the game an 8 out of 10. Because that connection and
just the little things.
The connection and the inability to customize your ranked preferences and whatnot, and the AIs and the ranked and whatnot is definitely why it went down 2 points. But
I agree.
Dissidia is a fabulous game. I really hope to see it in esports. I really hope for a tournament to happen. Stay tuned. And honestly, in general, this game, I would buy it at its full price. To me, it's worth it for that price. It's fun. It's beautiful. It's great. It's competitive.
It's definitely not unplayable. So.
Yeah. So, and that's that really. And I would love them, just to the creators, please make a boss rush mode where I can play with my friends.
That'd be fun.
The bosses are fun to play.
Yeah.
I want to play with my friends, make them difficult, give them more health. I don't care. Just hear me. But that's all the time we have, people. I know I didn't say this was going to be a long video, but this does seem it was pretty long either ways.
It is long, yeah.
But
please just make sure quickly if you guys have anything else you guys wanted to let us know about, other games that you might want to see us playing, please email us at g3evolution@gmail.com. We are always willing to do anything and everything to appease you guys. As long as we have it, we can play it. We'll go in the lab, practice it and whatnot if that's what you want to see.
And also, when we upload this video for the first week, I will be responding to any comments in the first week of the upload of this video.
Yeah.
So be very vocal on what you want to hear, what you didn't like, what you disagree with, what you agree with. We're open to opinion and criticism.
I'm always normally looking at the comments, even though we don't have any. So.
Other than that, like, subscribe, share this video.
And please,
we're
leave a
on
comment.
Facebook
Email
now.
us, yeah.
Email us and stay tuned because, as I said before, you never know when a Dissidia tournament might be happening.
Yeah,
hint,
we're on
hint.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us. You never know.
I'm Zex.
I'm Tyrant.
And this is G3. Remember to subscribe and take your first step towards evolution.